All right, good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm 5 News meteorologist Stephen Elmore. We have been tracking one isolated cell across portions of northeastern Oklahoma, and then it got to the state line and started to die down just a bit. It was died down to a special weather statement, which is only producing around 40 to 50 miles per hour wind gusts. But as it moved into an environment that has those high dew point values, that high humidity into northwest Arkansas, now it has decided to fire back up into a severe thunderstorm warning. This warning is for Washington and Crawford counties. This is going to go past 10 p.m. Let me get the exact details from this warning. Again, this is a very isolated event. This is not going to be widespread across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Just one cell that's causing some trouble this evening. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, no hail at the time. But I tell you one thing, if you've been looking out your window or probably just seeing it through your curtains if they're closed, producing a lot of lightning out there right now. This is quite the lightning show across northwest Arkansas this evening. So we could see some cloud-to-ground lightning, which can be dangerous. So if you are still having any activities outside across Washington and Crawford counties, you want to make sure to stay inside for the next hour or so. Again, the 60-mile-an-hour wind gust is going to be our main concern out of this. The lightning show does look very ominous out in the background, and this is going to produce some of that heavy rainfall. But really, the strong wind gusts and the lightning are going to be our main concern this evening. I'm actually going to turn off the lightning so we can zoom in on the wind right here. Whenever we start to see these, this lime green, very almost white color here, those are our strongest wind gusts. So Prairie Grove, just west of Prairie Grove right now, seeing the strongest amount of that lightning, again, or strongest amount of that wind, seeing around 60, 65-mile-an-hour wind gusts right now. This is pushing off towards the southeast, so into the Winslow area here in the next hour or so. We could see this cell producing that strong wind start to push into the I-49 corridor and then pass into parts of Winslow. So again, let's zoom in a little bit closer here so you know exactly where the strongest portion of the cell is going to be. Yeah, Lincoln right now, Prairie Grove, seeing some of the strongest portions of those wind gusts right now. Just one isolated cell that's pushing across northwest Arkansas, now moving into those spots of those dew point values that are in the high 70s, low 80s. That's why this storm has been able to survive for so long. So again, high wind gusts, no hail right now. We'll go ahead and pull up hail tracker just to show you that probably those readings are not going to be showing up. Some small pea-sized hail, possibly. We see these light gray spots showing up. Anytime we start to see those blue spots is when we're starting to see some significant hail coming down, anywhere from a nickel to a quarter size. Right now it's just producing most likely no hail at all, but if anything, could be seeing pea-size hail. It has to survive the fall from the clouds all the way down to the ground without melting first. So maybe just seeing some of those small hailstones across just north of Lincoln and just north of Prairie Grove right now. If we zoom out to show you the entirety of this warning, and this is going out till 10:15, so the likelihood of this cell continuing to hold its strength for the next hour or so is not great. But again, it's moving into an environment that can support a supercell like this evening. Still hasn't cooled down a whole lot. Still seeing temperatures probably still in the 80s right now. Dew point values definitely going to be in the high 70s, low 80s. We have our live stream up right now. If you have any questions, we'll try to get to some of those. Again, very isolated event right now. Across the River Valley, you take a look, nothing right now showing up on radar. And really nothing has been showing up on radar for the entirety of the night so far. We've just been watching this cell. It was very small, just north of Tulsa, and then it kept growing and growing, and then it started to die down near Siloam Springs. And now that it's pushed further into Washington County, we're starting to see it pop back up as a severe thunderstorm warning. So we might just see one warning for this evening. We'll see if it continues to uphold its strength or not. As for the heavy rainfall, again, if you are driving up and down I-49 this evening, this is going to be quite the downpour, quite the lightning show off to your west. If you're on 49 right now. So Prairie Grove seeing that heaviest portion of that downpour right now. Lincoln seeing some of those downpours right now. And moving into Greenland shortly, we're going to see the top half of this system start to push in. Most likely going to miss the heaviest portion, which is going to be Prairie Grove South into Washington County. Again, producing a lot of lightning right now. I'm actually going to try to pull up our Fayetteville camera I was looking at earlier just to see the lightning out there. We'll see. Probably not, but I'm going to.
Do like a live cam first, like up top, be like, hey, we'll get to the weather in just a second.
Okay. All right, so yeah, taking a look across Fayetteville right now, taking a look at Old May. We're talking about sorority rushing heading into tomorrow, so we're going to be seeing all that lightning out there right now. Again, if you're just stepping outside into Washington County right now, you're just seeing a lot of lightning this evening. Those strong wind gusts is why we have that severe thunderstorm warning, but man, is it quite the lightning show this evening. Let's get back to radar to show you those wind gusts. Again, that's going to be our main concern heading into tonight. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. If you have any valuables outside, those could get blown around. Small trees can get damaged from this. Even older, larger trees can get damaged from this. So again, that lime green, almost white spot is going to be where our strongest wind gusts are along this leading edge, pushing southeast into closer towards the I-49 corridor. So Winslow, you got some time before those wind gusts reach you, but still included in that warning. So not a whole lot of time. I'm actually going to, this is moving 30 miles per hour towards the southeast. So if we draw this line right here and push it off towards the southeast. All right, so West Fork around just shy of 10 o'clock, pushing into Winslow just after 10 o'clock, anywhere from 10 to 10:05. We could see this cell pushing through parts of Winslow. Again, this cell is so isolated that we're probably going to see it fluctuate up and down in its strength. Could lose some of its strength. Right now, it's just up on an uptick right now to just produce over those 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts to be able to produce those, that severe thunderstorm warning. All right, let's show you. I want to get an update on that hail to see if we're starting to see some of those hail cores start to pop up. Again, with the severe thunderstorm warning, they always give us a little bit of information of what the warning is going to include. And right now it doesn't include any hail, so it's not significant enough to where it's included in that verbiage, but it's still producing maybe just pea-size hail, which is far from damaging. Got to get up to about quarter size to start seeing some of that damage, but if anything, producing some of that small hail just to the northeast of Prairie Grove right now. Greenland may be seeing some of those pea-sized hailstones moving in just shortly. Good news is right now this is looking like it's going to be tracking just south of Fayetteville. Fayetteville's definitely going to see some of that rainfall, and obviously seeing a lot of those lightning strikes right now, but the severity of the storm just to be south of Fayetteville this evening. Main concern is going to be Prairie Grove, Lincoln, pushing towards West Fork, Greenland, and Winslow here pretty shortly. Again, kind of a slow-moving storm, only 30 mile per hour, but it's producing up to those 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Just now moving into I-49, anywhere from Fayetteville to West Fork right now. Seeing the leading edge of this system start to push through. So those are where those strongest wind gusts are going to be. You live near I-49 in Greenland, West Fork, or Fayetteville, or folks around that area, that's where those damaging wind gusts are going to be, right along the leading edge of this system. Right now, Prairie Grove almost kind of behind the leading edge of this system, so maybe just seeing that heavy downpour and the lightning right now. Pulling up velocity one more time, kind of show where the strongest wind gusts are. Good news is the strongest wind gusts are staying off of I-49, almost making a turn towards the south now. That's why they issued this warning to push into Crawford County, because while it's making its southeastern run, those wind gusts mainly moving towards the south right now. Southern portions of Washington County seeing the brunt of this system right now. Each update on this radar that we'll get, you'll see it slowly start to move towards the south. If you live anywhere within the lime green, almost whites area, That's going to see the strongest of those wind gusts right now. Again, capable of producing up to 60, 65 mile an hour wind gusts this evening. Lots of lightning out there though, man. All right. Hailstones still look good, still staying around, if anything, towards that pea-size range. Sweeping radar. Heaviest portion of that rain just on the western side of I-49 right now. We do have a few of those cells just north of Benton County right now. I want to talk about those real quick. We're going right in between. You'll see it jump between the Fort Smith radar to the Springfield radar now. We're kind of in that area where they hop back and forth. So we got a few of these cells trying to make their way out of northeastern Oklahoma into Benton County this evening. So Benton County may be seeing some of those heavy downpours. I'm not too concerned about these cells right now. We'll just keep on tracking them to see if they do try to make a run towards the severe limit. Right now we just have that one severe thunderstorm warning for Washington and Crawford County. And if you live in northern Crawford County, right now, not even seeing any of that rainfall right now. They're just issuing this ahead of time because most likely going to be moving into an environment that's going to be seeing some of the strongest wind gusts. And I have lost track of time. I just saw Alexandra walk in. We have a 10 p.m. newscast in about 7 minutes right now, so we do have to wrap things up. Again, portions of Washington County and Crawford County under a severe thunderstorm warning. 60 mile an hour wind gusts anywhere from Fayetteville to West Fork is where that rain is going to be moving in towards for I-49. The Prairie Grove area, surrounding areas, that's where those strongest wind gusts are right now. So if you have any valuables outside, you want to try to grab those real quick. But man, it's producing a lot of lightning right now, producing some of those strong wind gusts, and we'll have further updates for you in about 7 minutes or so. So keep it here, keep it local as always. We'll keep you advised.